Um, Wes, I know Spencer would probably tell us not to question him, but he's 1 of 8 on the night, and Denny heaves him that pass in the corner anyways, just like you drew it up.
Oh, yeah. We work on that all the time. We knew at some point they were going to junk it up. You know, they've shown the propensity to do that. Well, we saw in the playoffs last year, and they're very good at it. So, you know, whether it's zone, blitz, hit, trap, you know, it's something we were mindful of. Denny made the right play. Flash to the middle. Middle's wide open. He found the nearest guy, and Spencer, you know, big time play. He hit a huge shot for us.
Gafford in particular had a huge third quarter, but why did you want the group that was on the group at the end to be there?
Just the feel, and you know, nothing that Gafford didn't do. Is just I liked, you know, Denny, Trez in that group. We had to get Daniel out. He didn't run his minutes, but I like down the stretch staying with that group.
You guys had 19 turnovers, got out rebound, gave a lot of offensive boards. What did it take to kind of grind this one out?
I mean, it's one of those games where you look at the stat sheet and, you know, Giannis has 29 and we turned the ball all over, especially the first half. You know, luckily we had only 8 in the second for 6 points, but you know, those possessions earlier, they hurt. You know, we were able to hold on, I think down 3 at the half, which was a miracle. But just a gritty game. You know, the fact that once again we've tried to find a way. You know, we got stops when we needed it. We came up with those rebounds, big plays at the rim. You know, Kuz with the block. You know, Trez has a big one late. So it's a myriad of things. But you know, all those put together, it's a gutty win.
How did you think Bradley played today?
I thought he was great. Honestly, his defense was tremendous. I have to give all of our guys credit. You know, we knew going in this was going to be a challenge. And you know, once again, you're guarding one of the best players in the league. So you look at the stats and you're like, well, it didn't go so well. I thought it went great. I thought Denny was terrific. Kuz was great on him. You know, guys made plays late, and that's just how it has to be.
3 of these quarters were pretty closely contested. That third quarter, you guys won by 12 points. What kind of lit the spark for you coming out of that?
I think just our overall urgency to start the quarter. You know, we had the momentum going, and we kind of jumped out a little bit, which helped give us a cushion. We didn't sustain it so much, but you know, we started to make shots and found a rhythm with what we like, given with how they were guarding us. So it's something we can kind of stick with and exploit to a certain extent.
When you have a first half like that, where you guys have 11 turnovers, what's kind of the message to the team to clean it?
Oh, you know, you showed some of the clips, and you know, some of those plays are high risk, high reward, and they were great with their hand activity, the deflections, just giving our guys, you know, insight of what to look for. Like, we're trying to force this one play, but the play is behind that, and I thought we started to find that a little bit in the third quarter.
And what does it say about Daniel Gafford's abilities, his potential, that block that he made on Giannis to trail him the whole drive, with that play?
It's very few people can make that play. You know, we've talked at length about his ability to do that. It's special. And when he's locked in and he can do that without taking himself out of position, you know, where there's purpose behind it, and he's in the right spot early, you know, at times, and it's tough, you know, the amount of shooting they can put on the floor. You know, not just this team, but a lot of teams, those stretch fives, you know, he gravitates to the rim. And I think that's just in his nature. He's able to make those plays, but I think as we've gone along, he's done a better job of playing with purpose and understanding when to go and when not to go, and being more mindful of that.
From your perspective, what kind of adjustment do you think it is for Brad to be playing now with seasoned veterans, people who can down the stretch of the close game in multiple ways?
I'm sure there's a level of comfort, you know, knowing that he doesn't always have to be the guy. He's going to attract attention no matter what he does. And at times, and I'm sure he's aware, he has to, you know, absorb that, you know, that pressure, and knowing that he can get off of it and trust someone else to make a play.
I am not saying that he had obvious, but
Not yet.
Not yet. But I mean, it's 2-time MVP. He's got
No doubt.
With minimal help, some help, but with minimal help, how do you think he handled that all of it, defending without fouling, putting the body on, contest, all.
No, I think it was he was great, and I know it's not fair to say, hey, it's all on you, Denny, but he had a number of really good possessions where he was able to just wall up, absorb that contact, not get over anxious and make plays over the ball and get himself in foul trouble. There were probably like 5 or 6 plays throughout the course of the game. I'm like, man, that's pretty good. Even if he does make a tough shot, that's great defense. If he can do that nightly, we'll live with it.
Do you think he's getting that the offense may come and go, but that's how you can earn minutes? Is that?
Absolutely. If you do that every night, you will earn minutes. And, obviously, when we do defend at a high level, it allows us to get out and run. I think that makes for easy offense for everybody.
We'll go to Zoom now. Davide.
Hi, Coach. This is Davide from Italy. Congrats for the win. You guys are 7-3 now. What do you think is behind your early success?
I think the nature of our group, we've been able to pull together relatively quickly with so many new pieces, new coach, obviously, staff and philosophy. It's a lot to ask. But, for the most part, our guys have been great with their effort, but also locked in as far as what we're trying to do. I think big picture, they've seen now, and that's where you get more buy-in, the better understanding of how to play, what kind of shots we want, and that keeps that ball moving. And when that happens, I think we're at our best.
Wayne.
Hey, Coach, this is the second night that you've held a team under 100 points. What do you credit that to?
Great defense. Obviously, they didn't shoot it well. I think it's a lot of things. We've been better defensively. We're better tonight as far as taking care of the paint. And I think if we cut down those turnovers even more, it would help in that department. But just our overall understanding now, I think we got a feel for certain concepts, situations. There's less thinking. Guys are now just playing and reacting. So that cohesiveness is starting to come.
And as you go to your next matchup with the Cavaliers, what are some of the things that strikes you about this roster?
About our roster or
the Cavaliers roster? I
mean, their versatility. Obviously, they're missing a few guys right now. I'm not sure where that stands, but they're playing much better. They have dynamic guards. Obviously, their front court is huge. So we're going to have to find a way to, match that. The shooting. With Love off the bench, it could be a problem. But once again, we're not overly concerned with them right now. We have 2 days. We're going to enjoy tonight. Get back at it, watch film, clean up some things, and then prepare for Wednesday.
Thanks, Coach.
Last question to Matt.
Hey, Coach, it seemed like especially in the first half that you guys switched more on D than you had. Is that my imagination or is that part of the game plan?
Actually, no. It was more we were down the floor a lot with our 4s and 5s. We did get into some late switches, and that usually happens when the big is down the floor, they get engaged a little bit. At some point you have to kind of read it because you don't want to continue to pursue with 2 on the ball. So it kind of looks like a late switch, but in general, we're trying to entice the tough contested, that mid-range to long paint 2. Take away the rolls, the lobs, if we can, as well as limit the 3. So I know sometimes it appears that way. We got into some switches late in the game, which was good for us, but in general, we were more down the floor.
Gotcha. Thanks.
I think that's it, Coach. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Take one down, pass it around. To have a 12-point advantage in the third quarter. What changed at halftime for you?
The key is always going to be getting stops. They're a hell of a team. Obviously, defending champs. With Drew back in the fold, 2 of their big 3 is back. Obviously, they're still missing Brooks as well, but Chris obviously is the big 3, but Brooke as well. But still, extremely formidable team, and Giannis is MVP. So you just got to get stops, load to him, and some of that's been missing 3s as well.
And can you walk us through the shot you made in the final minute there?
Obviously we were just trying to give Brad some space. They sent two, ball went to Denny. Denny made a good find. I was fortunate enough to knock it down.
What did you think of Brad's performance tonight?
Oh, big time. I mean, but that's what you expect. He's an all NBA type of performer. He's averaged 30 in the league now, multiple seasons in a row. So, we need him to have big performances like that for us to be an elite level team.
What kind of lift did it give to the team, the shot clock violation that the Bucks had in the first half, where I think he was hounding Allen, and Wes, I think, gave him a high five.
Yeah.
Normally reserved to Wes Unseld Jr.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, anytime you have big time effort plays from your star, it's a huge for the team just because we see him out there giving his all. So obviously it inspires us to do the same.
Spencer, we've been talking to Denny a lot about how he's been missing kind of bunnies at the rim, and he's still getting his sharpness back there from when he injured himself. To make that find, like you said, and is that instinct? Is that him kind of fighting through whatever doubts he may have on the other end and just doing it? Can you speak a little bit to that mindset and confidence, if that's what it is?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a first round pick, top 10, I believe, right? So clearly he can play. Basketball IQ is high. You're typically your European players, basketball IQ is very high. He's been out there making extremely great plays on defense. I think that's what's kept him in the rotation. And then, from there, it's just about kind of letting the offense flow. If you're doing the right thing on defensive assignments, you're going to earn minutes. And then from there, just make the right basketball play. If you miss a bunny, you're in the NBA, man, you're going to make those. You know what I'm saying? I tell them all the time, don't worry about it. Everybody's missed layups before. So it's not a big deal. If you couldn't make a layup, you probably wouldn't be in the NBA, bro. So it's not that big of a deal, but that was a big play on his end.
What is your kind of style of, I don't know if you want to call it mentorship there. We see Trez out there kind of barking and talking all game, and we know how Brad works. How do you communicate with guys like that?
I'm pretty much just straightforward to the point. I don't really get too high or too low. I feel like you guys seen it now with, big shots or whatever. And then also in terms of talking to people, I think when Denny got that tech when we were up 25, I told him, I was like, yo, bro, look, don't do it again. But if there's any time you was going to do it, right now it worked. At that point, don't matter. You feel me? But I'm not paying your tech, though. It was stupid.
Spence, I know that a lot of guys are new to DC and new to the town, but this doesn't happen very often, what you guys have done to start the season here. And I just wonder, when you're used to winning, I know probably isn't as big a deal.
Yeah.
But when a franchise isn't used to winning, how important do you think it is to get off to a good start?
I think it's super important because obviously when a franchise isn't used to winning, you can go into the tank, very easily, very early. So starting off having good morale, it inspires that confidence. And then when we do hit the lows, because inevitably we will, right? You're able to pull yourself out of it because you know the level that you're capable of playing at. I mean, I've been on good teams, been on bad teams, and the marker of a good team is not having those lows last, not getting too high on the wins, but being very consistent. So, that's what we hope to do.
What do you think when Daniel Gafford recovered against Giannis and blocked him at the rim like that?
Oh, I mean, honestly, Giannis being an MVP, so it's big time. But at the same time, Gaff is one of the elite athletes at the center position. I said it before, there are some comparisons to Jared Allen. I think he's a more fluid athlete. Obviously, Jared has his strengths that he's better than Gaff at. But, that's not something that we should be shocked by, right? We should definitely give credit where it's due, but we expect those plays out of him because he has the talent, ability, to do that and do that consistently. So, I think Gaff's going to be at a high level in this league for a long time.
Spencer, have you ever paid anybody's tech before?
Shoot, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a generous guy, so it may have happened. You'd have to ask like a Jared or something like that because that was my guy. But I definitely wasn't paying nobody with no money. Like Joe Harris or something, South. Brad, dumb out. No problem. Now we're going to the virtual.
Neil.
Hey, Spencer, you touched on it a little bit, never get too high, never get too low in a game. Is there anything, is it just like short-term memory for you, not necessarily your greatest shooting performance, but as soon as you get that ball from Denny, just kind of laser focus and do your thing?
Hey, look, man, I told y'all when I got here in training camp, and I also told y'all after like the second game or something like that, if we take out the season I was hurt, I've been one of the most clutch players in the league, period. Like, that's what it is. Ain't no fear, man. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of people get all scared and whatnot, and they be like all nervous because, like, they think about missing it or whatever. Like, I feel like I work harder than everybody else. So, like, why should I be scared? Like, I tried my best. I gave it my all. If I miss, I miss. And so, honestly, I don't really care. And that's why it be going in, I feel like. Because a lot of people get all like, uh-oh. And that's when you miss. So, I hope to continue to be clutch for our team. Like I said, back then, it's Brad's play to make. Today, he passed the rock to Denny. Obviously, it found me in like the, almost corner. And you just shoot the ball, man. Like, I got a son. It's big things in life.
Appreciate it, Spencer.
That's it, Spencer. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Best tonight.
First praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Honestly, it was our defense. I don't know. I didn't look at the box score, but I know we made it tough on them. It's a team that loves to get in the paint and kick out for threes. Giannis is really talented at that. He's really good at reading defenses. And we threw a bunch of them at him. We threw some doubles at him. We went one-on-one solid straight up against them, put bigger bodies on them. Everybody that guarded him contributed. Started with Kuz, Gav, and Denny came in and closed it awesomely. So I think just making it tough on him. He's going to get his numbers. He's going to get his boards. So just really making it tough on everybody. And then offensively, the ball is fine again tonight.
The block that Gafford had on Giannis, coach said that's a play that not many people can make.
Mm-hmm.
What was your perspective as you saw that happen?
Coach is right, because not everybody has the same body type as Giannis. He's a freak athlete, and obviously, no pun intended, but his name. It speaks for itself. But Gaff is a freak too. Gaff is a freak athlete. He has strong legs, big body. So, it was kind of big on big, meet at the rim, and he may have laid the ball up a few times, but Gav, he's going to contest a good amount of them, and that block was huge for us. So, Gav is getting better night in and night out of understanding, how he can impact the game on a defensive end for us, and he's constantly doing that.
Brad, how are you feeling with the adjustment to playing with new teammates, particularly new teammates who are seasoned veterans who can contribute when given the opportunity?
It feels great. Not having to make every play, do everything. I can really focus on a lot of other things in the game, especially my defense. But more or less, it's an amazing feeling knowing that, you have vets, and when it's time to close out a game and win a game, they're prepared. They know what to do, and we're all, camaraderie-wise are ready to go. And you can look at the guy next to you and know that he's been in this trench before. So it's an unbelievable feeling. We're still not perfect. We still have a lot of things we need to work out and get better at, but it's definitely the strides in the right direction.
Brad, I feel like you've said the past couple of years, you've just like mentioned at the beginning of the season, defense is something that you've been wanting to work on. What has Wes had you focus on to like actually get to the point where he's the first thing he said about your performance tonight, he was like, I thought he was great on defense and you had 30. What is he telling you to hone in on?
It's really not anything he's telling me. It's kind of me challenging my mentality, because I can defend, and I know I can defend, and it's just a matter of just doing it. Coach has his schemes and he has his methods of how he wants us to guard, and he challenges me just like he challenges everybody else. But I know I have to, at the end of the day, I still have to get in the stance, and I still have to want to defend and guard. So ultimately it's me, just getting out there and just taking that challenge, accepting those challenges, and getting into a stance and getting the job done, because we have guys who can score the ball. If it's not my night, we have guys who can score the ball. We have guys who can make plays. So, I have other areas in the game in which I can really dial into and focus and get teammates involved.
We've talked to you after nights where you've had 40 points, 50 points, whatever. What is your, I guess, level of like physical effort feel like after a night where maybe you don't have to score all those points, but you are playing more defense? You have help on both ends. Like,
No,
are
it's
you
still
more
tired.
tired?
Like it's still tiresome. Like people get it twisted. Like playing defense is tiresome.
Yeah, and
That's very hard. It's very hard to do. And that's why it's a mental challenge, because you have to stay in the stands and stay engaged for 24 seconds, and God forbid they get offensive rebound, they get 14 more, so it's understanding that, and, how can you create an advantage for you and your teammates? Obviously, we know Giannis is a very ball dominant guy. We have chances to load up off of him, and, it kind of gives us that little breather of not having to guard guys who dribble all the time, but just his pressure and the pressure of the team, and they cut hard and they screen hard, like it still wears you down. So I still feel like I played a playoff game tonight, but at the same time, I do feel good. I feel my body feels great.
Brad, it's still early, I know, but you guys are winning in different ways pretty much every night. And when you see something like tonight, when Gafford blocks Giannis and Kuz has a block in the fourth quarter, and Denny makes the right read and the right play, and Dinwiddie knocks down the three to kind of put the game away. What does that do to your belief system about this group and what's possible?
A lot. I mean, because I can speak on Denny. I turned the ball over late in the game. Denny cut. I threw it to him. I feel like he was a little too far, and I think Pat jumped the ball and stole it. The same play, he jumped me again. I hit him in the middle. He came a little bit closer, so he met the ball. And, I trust everybody, doesn't matter who's in the game. And at the end of the game, it required me to do that more, get off the ball. I already turned it over more than enough. So being able to trust my teammates in those situations I wish I could really explain how it feels, but it's amazing, because it shows our growth and our maturity. Because in years past, we wouldn't close out these close games. We would fumble it, find out a way to trick it off. We were really locked in, buried in. One, got stops, and then two, on offense, we took our time and make sure we executed. And got a big shot by Spence.
Neil?
Hey, Brad, when you got switched onto Grayson and you forced that shot clock violation, you and Wes, dapped up. What kind of just energy or, excitement does that give you in the moment?
A lot, man, because Coach Wes he's very mellow. He's not too high, he's not too low. But you could tell he's engaged, he's excited, about their play, and he pushes me, and to see, I can hear him over there yelling, like, switch, get up, get into him. Don't let him shoot. Like, that motivates me to, okay, let's get a stop, and then sure enough, shot clock violation. It's just energy, when your coach is like that behind your team and he's engaged and locked in and communicating and telling everybody what to do, like you love that, and granted, we have to do that more for ourselves on the floor and talking and communicating, not solely on him, but it's an amazing feeling to have, a coach who's that engaged and locked in and, who's excited for his team.
And so you just touched on it, on the turnover, on the pass you tried to get to Denny. Is that something that you guys then talked about in the moment? Hey, come back closer to the ball, and you guys were able to take advantage like that?
For sure. I mean, it's something I tell our bigs that, because I get double teamed a lot. I overthrew Gaff in the first half. That was all on me. Because when I get two on me, just sit in the pocket. I'm going to throw you the ball. You're going to be wide open to make a play on the backside, and that's what Denny did. He was able to flash to the middle of the paint, and right at the elbow, free throw line extended catch, and then turn around, make a play, face the rim, look at his options, and he found Spence. So, those moments, we were able to fix it on the fly, and Denny's growth has been tremendous over the last few games.
Thanks, Brad.
Last question to Davidad.
Hi, Brad. Davide from Italy here. You guys are 7-3 now. What do you think is making the difference?
Today was daylight saving time, so I think we got an extra hour of sleep. That might have helped. But no, seriously, I mean, it's just our approach to the game. Having great vets, who knows what it takes to win, who are true professionals in our craft, and we really take our day-to-day serious and getting better. Whether it's film, simple film, or us going through drills or going through motions of another team. So we really bear down and be locked in into what we want to accomplish through the day. We try to win every day, and I think that's where it starts. So I think it's just our attention to detail, just how locked in we are coming into practice and shoot arounds, and then in the game we have fun. That's when the most fun comes out. That's where everybody should embrace the next guy. And we do that. We go out and play for each other. So, like I told you earlier, it's still early. We're 7-3, but it's definitely progress in the right direction.
Thanks, Brad. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, what do you think made the difference for you guys, especially in that third quarter as you outscored them by 12?
Main difference was just coming out and playing a lot more aggressive than we were in the first half. Limiting turnovers on our end, and just main thing, taking care of the ball, getting to the offense as much as we can to be able to execute like at a high level. That was the main thing, and turning great defense into easy offense as well.
It seems like you and Spencer are developing a pretty good lob combination. What's it like, the passes that he's throwing to you right now?
I mean, it's good. They're not too high or too low. Even if they're too high, I can probably go get it. What I'm saying? I always tell the guys, like when I first got here to Washington, I'm like, you can throw it to the sky. I'm gonna try my best to bring it back down. So just really just being in the pick and roll and building that chemistry. We did that early for sure. Preseason, everything, and what I'm saying, it's finally showing up.
And I'd love to get your thoughts on the block you had on Giannis and just matching up with him in general tonight.
One thing about me, I really don't back down from a challenge. Whenever it came to an opportunity that I had switched on him, I wanted to make sure that it was good. I didn't want to be beat off the dribble. He gets downhill, do a slow 1-2 and dunk on me. I didn't want to be on the highlight tonight. That's my main thing. So really just, playing big boy defense, no fouling. I got one foul on him that, I really shouldn't have gotten. But at the end of the day, really just playing solid defense is what got me to where I got the block on him.
What did you make of Brad's performance tonight?
I mean, Brad comes out and plays that way night in, night out. He gives it all on the floor, and, coming back into the locker room, it's the main thing he says is he leaves it all out there. But other than that, he comes out and he plays great basketball. And it's great to be out there on the floor with a guy like that.
What does it mean to you to see that he has support from many people out on the court, seasoned veterans who can contribute, and you're one of the people who did that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's great because, if one guy gets hot, the team is going to get hot sooner or later because one guy is to lead the pack, and that's Brad.
Daniel, I see that you're wearing, as promised, a showering gun shirt today. You can kind of talk us through it.
Oh yeah, this isn't like Itachi's Sharingan. This is Kakashi's, the copy ninja. So I really like Kakashi a lot because of how he trained Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. His little team 7. So just him with like that leader mindset. I really wanted to come in, focus tonight, just have this, put people under my genjutsu.
And you're 2-0 with a Naruto show.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna make it a trend for sure. I'm gonna make it probably go Naruto, probably go Dragon Ball Z. It's a lot of stuff I'm gonna bring out for sure.
They love a copy ninja. Daniel, kind of along the lines of Josh's question, I know obviously you were new to the team last year, so it was a lot of things you were taking in. But in terms of the feeling, whether that's in the locker room, your guys' level of chemistry, comfort, whatever, how different does this team feel compared to last year?
I mean, it feels good because, we got a lot of depth on this team now. We got a lot of seasoned vets. We got a lot of guys that've been in the league for a good amount of time. So we got a lot of experience. So just in the locker room, we got guys that are really vocal, saying the things that we should do, saying the things that we shouldn't do, trying to keep the team, I would say entangled into the game to where like if we feeling down, we're not making shots or anything like that. We come into the locker room and we adjust and we have the guys talking and we figure it out to come out in the second half to be able to play as a team and play a lot better on a higher level. So that's the main thing, just having a lot of vets around and hearing more and more talk night in, night out.
You talked about that last game, how you I think it was last game where at halftime you just kind of had a talk with yourself of like, okay, let's lock in. Did you have to practice so you got good at that so you can just kind of come out and okay, and now I can actually do that?
Yeah, one thing for sure, coming from my rookie season, I was always down on myself. you know, missing shots, not blocking shots, messing up on defense, anything. And I used to always get down on myself and used to always impact my game. I used to always go out on the floor and I used to always make dumb mistakes, or I used to always make stupid mental mistakes. So really just getting better at that was my main focus, because me wanting to be out on the floor and helping the team, I can't do that because that brings a lot of bad energy towards the team as well. You know, because one bad apple can make a lot more. That's one thing about it.
Neil.
Hey, Daniel, can you give us an example of maybe, you know, what was said during halftime today and that led to you guys coming out in the third quarter? You guys won that quarter 33-19.
Main thing that was said was, you know, we got another 24, you know, basically the score is 0-0 because we got 2 more halves to go. And really that was pretty much it. Came out, have high energy and doing the right things. That was the main talk throughout the locker room at halftime tonight.
Thanks, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Last question, Dwayne.
Hey, Daniel, last time we talked, you said you pride yourself on defense. How does it feel now to hold 2 good teams to under 100 points?
I mean, it's great because, you know, we had a defensive mindset first and offensive mindset second tonight. Like I said, our defense led to easy offense. That's the main thing. So if we play defense like that throughout every game, you know, we'll get easy offense down the stretch, more and more to come.
Good game tonight. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Thank you, Gaff.
All right.